What's going on, folks? I'm Paul Gallant. This is my Twitch. Twitch.com/Gallant says. Tweeting out the link to this right now. All right. There's one link down. There's another link down. I don't know if anyone's joined yet. Doesn't look that way. What's up, y'all? Watching the end of Astros-Phillies Game 5. Right now on Twitch, we'll be talking about the end of the game right when it's done, but you get to see my live reaction to whatever goes down, so make sure you join me right now. Okay, 0-1, Presley on the hill. You got Rhys Hoskins at the plate. And Fuentes Respector says, bad feeling they're going to walk it off. Fuentes Respector, Bryce Harper might be up at the end of this inning, so with the runner on, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Hoskins is 0 for 4 tonight. He just fouled one off, so it's 0-2 right now. It's a lot of hair. Twitch.tv/Gallant. Okay, fouls off another one. Almost done sending out all this promotion. It's interesting watching this completely muted. Maybe that's the next evolution of this. I actually do have a setup where I can watch this while sitting down with headphones on the actual broadcast itself, so I can hear what Dodger Joe Davis is saying about this. Okay, 0-2 with Hoskins at the plate. Ryan Presley looks and delivers. My God, there's so much downtime in baseball, and he throws a ball outside that bounced off the catcher and right back to Presley. So it's 1-2 the count right now. No outs in the bottom of the ninth inning. That Rafael Montero inning last frame drove me crazy. Whenever he goes in, it turns into this roller coaster. You never feel great. And Presley gets Hoskins. Good. That is one down. Perhaps less of a chance for Bryce Harper to have an opportunity to drive somebody home. We shall, of course, see, though. I don't feel very good right now. Showing reactions. Dusty Baker's chewing on his toothpick. Hoskins is exhaling through his mouth. Probably his nostrils too. JT Realmuto, 3 strikeouts on the night. And that one's fouled. Grounded down the third baseline. Grounded foul down the third baseline. That works. I wouldn't be good at play-by-play is what I'm learning. Watching this broadcast right now. So, I mean, you've gotten a good enough performance from the two bats at the top of the lineup. Just sporadic, as always, performances from the rest of the Astros offense has you in this spot right now. 0-1 coming from Presley. That one low and outside. Martin Maldonado throws the ball away. They get a new one in there. And, of course, Realmuto steps out of the box, and we're probably going to have another 10, 15, 20 seconds or so before he steps back in. Presley is now kicking dirt on the mound and looks like he's about to throw pitch number 3 of this at-bat. Oh, shit. Real Muto got a piece of that. Oh, that is a great fucking catch. What a catch. Oh, my God. I thought he hit that out. I thought that was gone for sure. Holy shit. That was very close. What a catch. Oh, and against the cage. Slash. Is that a netting in front of that wall? That did not look comfortable. Hell of a catch by McCormick. Wow. I mean, that looked painful. Jesus. What kind of, is that a fence? Is that a net? I mean, it's got to be a fence of some sort, so the ball bounces off and it doesn't get caught in the net or anything like that. All right, so it's Bryce Harper. Walk him, right? Like, don't even bother. That one he hit down that one he hit off of Verlander sucked. No, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. Okay. Yeah, that's a strike. Maldonado and Harper are talking about that one. That one was on the outside corner. And that's a strike. See it on the... never mind. Maldonado just did a great job of framing it at the end. That's probably outside. These Phillies uniforms are something else. I think they're good, but it's weird they're hashtag Red October. Another ball low. Honestly, just throw it out of the strike zone against this guy. This is the only guy on this lineup that concerns me. By the way, in case you're just tuning in and you've never seen this before, I am rooting for the Astros in this series. Okay. 2-0 pitch. Oh, Jesus. Every time he makes contact with the ball, it's just scary looking. Oh, my God. Well, at least he got a foul tip on that. Or excuse me, not a foul tip. That was a lasered foul ball that Harper pulled the shit out of. The unis aren't bad. It just doesn't seem to blend in with the theme they're going for. Presley with the next pitch. Jesus. Did that hit him? Yes, it did. Okay. You know what? I don't mind it. Harper can't hurt you with his bat this way. You know? So now coming to the plate is, and there's a fly ball by Castellanos. Just kidding. Castellanos now coming up with a runner on. I mean, it would really suck if you hit a home run and it was a walk-off and there's a 2-run homer. I don't want to put that energy out there, but now I've just been feeling tense all game watching this thing. I mean, seriously, there hasn't been a moment in the last couple of hours where I felt remotely good. Ugh. All right. So Castellanos steps in. Swing and a miss at a pitch that was very low and outside. So that's one strike. Yeah, that was nowhere close to the strike zone. Probably looked pretty filthy. Okay. 0-1. 2 outs. Fouled out. And just out of the reach of Trey Mancini, who made that great play to end the 8th inning on the first base line. And out of the reach of Kyle Tucker as well. So here we are once again with an 0-2 count, with 2 outs, with Ryan Presley 22 pitches into his outing, which started in the last inning, because Rafael Montero is always a fucking roller coaster when he's in. To bring it back to Houston, up 3-2. Oh, did he go? No, he did not. He checked. 1-2 the count now. Low and away. And He went at the first one, almost went at that one. I think if you're Presley, you hit that zone again. We will see. I think I heard my neighbors murmuring, and I am watching this game definitively on a delay, so that doesn't make me feel good. Damn it. Presley low and away again, but this time he missed the spot. 2-2 now. 2 outs. Again, bottom of the 9th. Ugh, God, playoff baseball is so fucking stressful. Okay. Those Phillies fans did not look particularly enthusiastic. Presley sets and delivers. Oh, God, low again. Jesus Christ. He's going to walk him, isn't he? Oh, God. This is too much. By the way, Bohm, like, unbutton more of your shirts, or more of your shirt, dude. Jesus Christ. How many buttons down is he? 3? I don't even think it's acceptable to go out with 2 unbuttoned necessarily. You're going out with 3. Oh, God. I don't feel good about this. But here he is, Presley, with the count at 3-2. Looks like Harper's about to run. He does. Ground ball, shortstop Jeremy Pena throws it to first, and they got him! Let's go! All right. Oh, I feel a tremendous weight off of my shoulders because of all the shit that I've been talking. Great play by Jazz McCormick to get the second out with that catch on the center field wall, and yet another great play by Jeremy Pena. Jeremy Pena, who defensively put together a hell of a performance. Hello and welcome aboard the Gallant Says podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud. We've been doing 2-a-days. You can also catch this show live on Twitch, twitch.tv/GallantSays or youtube.com/Paul Gallant. The Houston Astros just took down the Philadelphia Phillies 3-2 to take a 3-2 series lead, with the series heading back to Houston for Game 6 on Saturday with Framber Valdez on the hill. Let's start off talking about the guy who we all weren't feeling great about going into this game, Justin Verlander. He wasn't great. He certainly wasn't Cy Young Justin Verlander, but he did enough. He had a good outing, and he finally gets his first World Series win. 5 innings pitched, 4 walks, 4 hits allowed, including on the second pitch of the game, getting absolutely smoked by Kyle Schwarber, a home run that he hit to right field. But 6 strikeouts, not exactly his best game in terms of command. He did enough. This has got to feel great for Verlander. I'm sure that his teammates are also really thrilled that they were finally able to get him that first World Series win. It's fucking crazy that he never had it. But good enough by Verlander. That might be the last that we ever see of him in a Houston Astros uniform. That's something that we might talk about in the future on either my radio show or on this. But for now, that's probably all that we're going to see for Justin Verlander this postseason, unless Game 7 gets really, really messy. Now let's talk about the other guys who made this thing happen. Jose Altuve, he delivered. Second pitch of the game, he doubles to right center, and then he makes it all the way to third base on a fielding error by Brandon Marsh, and on the very next at-bat, Jeremy Pena singles. You're thinking 4 pitches in, oh my God, they're going to absolutely run Noah Syndergaard out of this game. But then Yordan Alvarez struck out, and Pena was caught stealing. So you had a double play. You go from Pena on first with no outs to 2 outs, and Bregman strikes out. And then after that, like seconds later, second pitch, you get that Kyle Schwarber home run. And it got real tense. Noah Syndergaard had himself a pretty good night, at least for a time. He gets a 1-2-3 inning in the second, a 1-2-3 inning in the third, while Justin Verlander, meanwhile, in the second inning, he gives up a single, he walks a guy, he walks another guy, and he has the bases loaded. He has to strike somebody out to get out of it. Third inning, same thing, where there's 2 runners on, but he eventually gets out with a fly out. And then you get Jeremy Pena, who is, I think, the player of tonight. Pena made a couple of really nice plays defensively. One of them involved, he made it look so easy, but it was an unbelievably quick transition that he had from his glove hand to his right hand and then threw it over the first base. It was incredible how quick he switched it and was able to get a lot of velocity on the ball. But he homers to left field, 350 feet. And you're thinking a little bit later on in that inning when Alex Bregman doubles to deep left that that's going to be gone too. And the Astros were going to be up 3-1. But the Phillies have this stupid fucking, like, in their left field wall, essentially a little gated off area for flowers. Fuck off with the vegetation. Fuck off with the wasted water that you have for those flowers. I hated that. I never noticed it until this game. It's just a waste of space in the outfield. People talk shit about the Crawford boxes all the time and about how Tal's Hill used to be in center field. Okay, at least there's not a bunch of fucking flowers in left field that randomly extend the left field wall to a point where you can't quite as easily hit a home run. I hate that, mainly because it affected the Astros. But Verlander had calmed down at that point. He goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fourth, strikes out the first 2 guys, gives us a double to Bryce Harper, and that's when you're thinking to yourself, oh no, what's going to happen? And that long at-bat that he had with Castellanos, a 10-pitch at-bat, and after 5, you're like, okay, we're getting to the bullpen. And the Astros bullpen is going to be able to do its job. What's the Phillies bullpen going to do? Jose Alvarado, who's the guy who pissed his pants in Game 4, coming in for Austin Nola. He didn't start off great. Infield single. He hits Bregman, so there's 2 runners on with 2 outs, but he gets out of that inning. And man, it just was tense. It was tense all game long until the 8th inning, which is when the Astros were able to get that insurance run, but nothing more. Altuve walks. Jeremy Pena single to right. Altuve goes all the way to third base, and then Alvarez grounds him down to home with a ground out to first. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, you got Pena on second. Alex Bregman walks. There's 2 runners on. There's 1 out. You got an opportunity. They weren't able to take advantage of that opportunity. And then a little bit later on, the 9th inning, you have an opportunity where there's 2 runners on, double play. Ultimately ends it. They had tons of opportunities to score. They really did. And it's been frustrating with this Astros offense, how hard it sometimes looks for them, especially when they are given opportunities. And Fuentes Respector says, defense came back to bite Philly. 1 bobble cost them the insurance run that, yeah, you're right. But that's sort of what you expect from Philadelphia from a defensive perspective. Like, that's their thing. Meanwhile, we get to the 8th inning, and I'm sorry I'm going through the game. Right now I'm looking back through the play-by-play. It was so long, and you sometimes need to refresh yourself. That bottom of the 8th, and whenever Rafael Montero comes into the game, I don't give a fuck what his statistics are. I watched this guy pitch in Seattle. This is the same thing that you always expect out of Rafael Montero. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be fun. You're going to be stressed out. So he walks the first batter he faces, Castellanos. He strikes out Bohm, but then he gives up another walk. Then he gives up the single, and that was it. And I think if you're going to question anything from Dusty Baker today, it's, okay, he might have gotten away with leaving Justin Verlander in for Bryce Harper. And going back to the same guys that they have gone to all postseason, Neris, understandable. Abreu, understandable. Montero, Presley, you got other arms in the bullpen, right? The great thing is that you have the travel day, so you get a little bit of rest for some of those bullpen arms. But you used all the big ones, and now you are really relying on Framber Valdez to have an outstanding start on Saturday, which is something I expect him capable of doing. I don't know that it is a guarantee, though, that he will do that. So if you have any thoughts, you know how to join them. join with them. Jesus, I'm barely speaking English right now. I think I need more caffeine when I'm on the air, but it's a little bit late. Twitch.tv/Gallant says is how you can work your comments in. Spoon DJ says, don't F with Mattress Mac. Well, I guess there's a grassroots voting movement taking place online where some people are voting for Mattress Mac to throw out the first pitch before Game 6. I don't think that's a bad idea. Aaron Russell says, holy crap, Chazzy with the game saver. What a game. Definitely was a game. Stressful game. This is what makes playoff baseball great. But I was pacing around. There are times when it gets stressful like this where I just can't even watch the TV. Even though I'm still watching the TV, like I'll get up, I'll walk around, I'll be watching it out of the corner of my eye. This is one of those games where, yeah, Game 5 for the Astros in the World Series. They are undefeated. They continuously win in this spot. But 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. 7 guys left on base in a 3-2 game. I mean, imagine what we're saying afterwards. It's not like Philadelphia did much better. Philadelphia left 12 on base, and they were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. So lots of missed opportunities on that end. Philly did go deep in their bullpen in this one. I think that definitely helps you out going forward. That Brogdon guy is really fucking good. I hope we don't have to see him again going up against the Astros. Connor Brogdon. He came in after Syndergaard. I mean, he mowed down, in 2 innings, he struck out 5 of the guys he faced. He was the best pitcher for them tonight. Everyone else, you know. Justin Terrell says, that was the most stressful game ever. I felt the same way, and mainly because I've talked so much shit about the Phillies, though. That's really been the main reason that I've felt any stress at all during this series. Spoon DJ, Brad says, no, Mac shouldn't do it. Well, who do we have throw out the first pitch? You got to have somebody special, right? Who can we claim as our own who is still, like, considered to be cool? Buzz Aldrin's still kicking it. Where does he live now? I know he was born in New Jersey. Does he happen to still live in Houston? Who else could we throw out there? Clay Walker? That seems like a really good idea. The Clay Walker to throw out the first pitch. The random champion of Houston sports. Let's look this up. Famous people from Houston. How about J.J. Watt? Would that work? Okay, here's what we got. Beyonce. I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan. Dennis Quaid? I think he could do better. Jim Parsons. No. We're not doing Sheldon. Jennifer Garner. She was a bitch to Mike Meltzer once in a spot. I didn't like how she was rather rude to him. Patrick Swayze, dead. R.I.P. Honestly, if he was still kicking it, that's the one that you want to go to. Hillary Duff. You know what? I'd be game for Hillary Duff. Michael Strahan. He's a Houston guy, but I don't know I think New York kind of claims him now. Other famous people from Houston. Howard Hughes. He's dead. Spoon DJ says, isn't 50 in Houston? I'm guessing you're meaning 50 Cent. Justin Terrell, are you live on Twitch? I am live on Twitch and live on YouTube. We do it on both. Some people like one, some people like the other. And I also have way more followers on YouTube than I do on Twitch. Twitch we're trying to build up. But Twitch seems to be the more, the better created app when it comes to live interaction. So yeah, Justin, please do follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Gallant says. You got George Foreman. Travis Scott's been canceled. You can't do that. Joel Osteen, first pitch. How about that? Huh? Twitch.tv/Gallant says, Justin. Okay, we're going further and further down the list. Anna Nicole Smith, also dead. Scarface? That would be cool. Yeah, you go further and further down the list. ZZ Top? We're going to have to make it be either Beyonce or Hillary Duff. Okay? I don't make the rules, but I think that's the way to go about it. Maybe George Foreman would work too. if you bring in Joel Osteen, you could have God on your side, says Spoon DJ. How about The Undertaker? Although the Astros haven't been dead. Matt Stone from South Park? I didn't know he was from Houston. That's pretty neat. Bun B, that would work. Slim Thug. Paul Wall, although Paul Wall was at the Texans game today. I don't know if Paul Wall is going to want to do 2 events in 1 week. Maybe he would. Edgar Garcia says, let's bleep and go. Okay, so the Astros lost to the Nationals. Same scenario a few years ago. Will history repeat? I don't think so. Not this time, Buster Brown, because I am back in Houston. I'd actually just moved from Houston to Seattle for that. And I remember, because I was kind of bummed out by the fact that I didn't live in Houston anymore, I didn't watch it. I was bummed out about that. So I didn't watch the World Series. I was at like a flag football game, and I remember coming back and seeing it, being like, I'm not here anymore. I don't want to miss it. I don't want that to happen. Ugh. Anyway, what else do we got? Poor R. Marine. Sup, Papa Top Paul. I should have brought a drink. I didn't drink tonight. You know, I thought I was going to go out with the girlfriends of mine, because I hung out with them on a girls' night and watched game number 4 between the Astros and Phillies. And things went so well, I was thinking about doing it again. But I woke up this morning and I just felt dead. Just absolutely dead. Spoon DJ says Nolan Ryan. That would work. Does Nolan Ryan live in Houston, though? I feel like he's from Alvin. Does he still live here? I'm assuming he does. That would be a pretty powerful play to get Nolan Ryan out there. Roger Clemens maybe even too. Craig Biggio, Jeff Bagwell. You want to really pull out the big guns? You could call George Springer, Charlie Morton, someone else. Can we do a chat vote on who would be the MVP if Framber closes it out tomorrow? Well, there will be no voting. If you are a supporter of the Paul Gallant Show on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5 or the Gallant Says podcast, we are not a democracy. We are firmly in the Jeremy Pena wins MVP no matter what conversation. It is Jeremy Pena or nobody else. And Jeremy Pena won you the game tonight. He had the home run. He had a couple of nice plays in the field. He hit a single as well that scored Altuve in the first inning. He won you the game. Hell, in the 8th inning, I mean, he helped get Jose Altuve into scoring position. We are all Jeremy Pena. And Fuentes Respecter says Bregman. I don't know if Bregman has as strong of a case, seeing as he's hitting .222 in this. I mean, just take a look at the Astros lineup right now, and it looks like Yuli Gurriel might be in danger of not playing again the rest of this postseason just because either he suffered a concussion or an ankle injury or something. But he was your second most consistent hitter. Pena's hitting .381 in this series. It's got to be Pena. He is fielding well. He has done everything to this point. And that would be pretty fucking sick to see him win the ALCS MVP and World Series MVP. I'm going to have to do the song again, but with different lyrics. Terrell145 says, I got a bet on Framber to close it in 6 and win MVP. Oh, what are the odds on that one? I'm pretty interested. Aaron Russell says, yep, absolutely. Pena's doing everything. Edgar Garcia, the Astros also lost against the Braves. You don't need to bring that up, motherfucker. Come on. By the way, I like you. You know, just saying it in a loving, kind-hearted, endearing way, you know? Because we're all family here. But no, don't bring up that energy. Don't bring that in here, Ricky Bobby. Holly Rachel Worshipper says that the MVP will be Pena or a pitcher. What other pitcher would it be at this point? Because outside of Javier, like Framber was damn good. I thought it was a great performance by Framber. I thought Javier outshined him, though. I think if Javier pitches again, like say Javier pitches game 7, I think that he's got the strongest case. But right now, Jeremy Pena is the leader in the clubhouse. So I guess the bet that he has to have Framber win MVP is 760. That ain't bad. Poor Marine says, fuck the Braves and my fat sister. Hey, your sister didn't do anything tonight. Edgar Garcia says, I'm just nervous AF, but I want the Astros to win. We know. You're one of the real ones. I am curious as to how it goes. I don't feel the overwhelming, arrogant confidence that I thought I would coming out of this, you know? I thought if the Astros won this game, I'd be like, oh, yeah, they're going to win it in fucking 6. It's over. But right now, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Philadelphia's pitching has done a really good job against your bats. And, man, like, it's just so damn sporadic. And now, all of a sudden, what happens if Yuli's out? Give Trey Mancini a lot of credit into Galaxy Brain James Click for trading for Mancini, knowing that he was going to make a big defensive play in the World Series. But there's a chance that now the bottom of your order could be Trey Mancini, David Hensley, or whoever else you want to put in there. He did have an infield hit today at least, but he struck out twice. Chas McCormick, who has been serviceable, and Martin Maldonado at the bottom of the order. I mean, you might need to, at that point, put Christian Vasquez in there. Holly Rachel Worshipper says, for the sanity of Houston sports fans, end this Saturday. Yeah, I don't really want a long Sunday night. I would prefer the Astros win on a Saturday so I could properly celebrate it. I think everyone should feel that way. A Spoon DJ says that liner catch was huge. Yeah, but Terrell145 says he lucked into that play in the field. Mancini, he athletically fell on that ball. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. He did just kind of fall on it. But come on. It was a hell of a catch. They're showing replays right now on Fox of the McCormick catch. Damn, that was a great catch. I don't think he 100% knew where the wall was when he jumped up for that. Because he's feeling for it, and I think he thought he was going to actually hit it like a second earlier or so. Jeremy Pena's at the podium right now. Man, what a postseason this kid's had. I mean, it's his first postseason, and he's just nails. First at bat of the game, single up the middle to score a run. Second at bat, he gets the home run. Later on, he's just a great player. They're showing a replay of the home run he hit. I love how he does the shrug on his way around third base. Does Noah Syndergaard have eyebrows? He had that catch where he jumped up to make at shortstop. I didn't even see that one. Or excuse me, I don't remember that one off the top of my head because I just remember the really smooth play that he had with the grounder that came to him and he changed hands with it so quickly. Spoon DJ says, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Poor Marine says it happens. And continues saying, Yordan needs to fucking hammer at least one game. It's nuts that he hasn't. I mean, we're talking about Yordan Alvarez getting an RBI in the game where he strikes out twice. He's batting 105. Man, I just remember talking about how awesome Yordan was playing in those first 2 Seattle games, and I was thinking to myself, this is one of the most dominant postseason displays we've ever seen in Houston sports history. Obviously, it was a really small sample size. Terrell145 asks, why did they bring the infield in during the first inning? Well, here's why, Terrell145. You know why? Because in games before, you might have noticed that Jeremy Pena turned around like he was going to bunt. So I'm overthinking this, but I think he kind of duped the infield into thinking that there's a possibility, especially with a runner on third, that maybe he would just put down a bunt and try to get the sacrifice and score. That's my theory. I could be totally wrong on that. That's mainly speculation. Poor Marine says, the deal is Verlander finally won a World Series game. Holy shit. It is really nuts that... What are we at now for Verlander? That was his 10th World Series start, and that he's won in 6. With an ERA that's probably now like slightly below 6 or something like that. Poor Marine continues. Congrats, you and your You and your pictures could go back to Kate Upton and get it on, bro. Did you see Kate Upton was cheering on the broadcast at the very end? She got a nice little Instagram photo that she posted of herself right up in the front. Look at all these people wearing Eagles unis. See, I knew it. They wouldn't actually wear Phillies uniforms or anything like that to the Texans game. I think they were interviewing people at the actual Texans Eagles game. Philadelphia fans don't really care that much about the Phillies. They care way more about the Eagles. By the way, that game was on in the background. The Texans actually were respectable in this one, and they don't deserve a lot of credit because they still lost, and Davis Mills threw a couple of bad interceptions. But just a quick side note, they did cover. I think the spread was either 13.5 or 12.5. And Mills did have a good first half. Dameon Pierce had himself a day. Dameon Pierce had 27 carries for 139 yards, 5.1 yards per carry average. The real problem is, I mean, like, you got a guy in your team who's one of your best players who legitimately, like, quit this week because he's pissed off he didn't get traded. Poor Marine is talking about another guy that regularly joins us on our Paul Gallant show, Twitch chat on twitch.tv/ESPN975. Mills was playing a game. Dick Willie is losing his mind. Well, I mean, he had one of the worst interceptions I've seen ever. Early in that game, the latter interception that he had, I think Philip Dorsett should have turned around and made a play on it. He started off the game all right, though. Anyway, let's get back into the Astros. Edgar Garcia asks, will the no-hitter in Game 5 be a big deal if the Astros win, Game 4, be a big deal if the Astros win the World Series? Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, it stopped the momentum of Philadelphia in their tracks. They had the 5 home runs. If they lose the World Series, it becomes completely forgotten. Poor Marine continues. Yeah, the Davis Mills interception, if you haven't seen it, look it up. It was really bad. It's one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. Anyway. Look, guys, that was a hell of a win. It was a stressful win. I hope that Dusty Baker takes some different approaches with the pitching going forward. He did get a little bit lucky that Verlander stayed in the game as long as he did and didn't really allow significant damage. He's lucky that they got away with putting Rafael Montero in for that third of an inning. But otherwise, solid day at the office for him. Good day at the office for Verlander. Great plays in the field by Trey Mancini and Chas McCormick. And an awesome day for Jeremy Pena, who goes 3 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. He's hitting .381 with a .409 on-base percentage and a .619 slugging percentage this postseason. Steve Marsh asks, what is the chance that the Astros lose a Framber start? 15%? I would say it's higher than 15%. I would say it's probably like 25. Poor Marine says, I'm going out now. Let's see what in the fuck is going down in Washington. You know what? Have fun out there. I'm trying to behave tonight. We're going to save all the shenanigans for tomorrow and for hopefully Saturday. But I will be at the ballpark on Saturday. The plan is I'm going to try to get there at 5 so I can hang out with some of you guys if you actually make your way there. The place that I like to frequent the most is the Hornitos Bar up in center field. That's where the El Tiempo, one of the El Tiempo locations is. So I'll probably be up there for a bit. If you're up there, send me a tweet at Gallant Says or get after me however you can. I will not be hard to find. I'll be the bougiest looking person in that area. I'll be wearing like a button down and slacks and stuff and dress shoes. And I'll be also trying to not cheer every 5 seconds. Anyway, big thanks to everybody who tuned in for this little post-game show. Hope you enjoyed my reaction to the end of this one. If you haven't already, subscribe wherever you like to stream stuff. YouTube.com/Paul Gallant or Twitch.tv/Gallant Says. If you want to hear the podcast version of this, it was a bit all over the place. You can get it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Search Gallant Says. I am merely Paul Gallant. So long, farewell. If you're listening to the radio tomorrow, I will be back on at 10 a.m. on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Jeremy Pena says have a good night today.